Hello everybody and welcome to another one of our leadership training videos. Now by now you probably know that in these leadership training videos, what I do is I share through my own personal experience, my own journey, what the leadership skills, traits, qualities and abilities are that you need to be successful. Now if you're not a leader, but you're joining this for the first time, you could be an entrepreneur. You could simply be a follower who wants to become a leader one day. Maybe you're looking towards leadership opportunities and maybe developing your own leadership skills, in which case you're in the right place anyway. So it's really understanding where you are in your journey and seeing what I can offer you that helps you become a more effective leader or just learn about leadership and what the skills are. So before going any further, my name is Chris Igwe. I have 35 years experience leading training and developing teams across Europe, Middle East and Africa, and primarily in 5 major markets where I've lived and worked. I normally take just one topic, melt it down into very short sound bites so that you can understand and pick and hopefully can help you in your own journey, whatever that might be today or wherever you might seek to go. If you're familiar, please feel free to share, like or comment, and of course subscribe to the channel so you know when other videos are becoming available, and of course look back on some of the previous ones and enjoy those as well. So today we're going to talk about a topic which, to be honest, it's more about when you're a more established leader, but even if you're not, it's something for you to think about because this is part of a process, and it's called succession planning. Succession planning. Now what does that mean? I mean, the key word here, as I point out, because people forget it very quickly, it's not about the succession itself, it's about the planning for the succession. What do I mean by that? Well, at some stage, you as a leader are going to step out, step away, retire perhaps, move to another job, as in my case, I've very often moved from one company to another. Who is going to fill that role and that position that you have there? Because depending on the circumstances of your leaving, you have to make sure that you've prepared the team properly, that someone who is going to take over, if it's coming from inside the business, and it could be outside, but for the moment we focus on inside, who is going to take your role and position when you've moved on. And I just want to take you through very, very simply a few things to consider. So when it comes to strategic planning, so in fact when it comes to succession planning, should I say, the first and probably most important thing is you are a leader because you are put there to be strategic, okay? It's different from management. That's an important qualification and distinction. You manage as a leader, but a leader is there to drive the strategic decision-making and positioning of your team, your department, your company, wherever you are going. So when you look at succession planning, you need to make sure that whoever that person is, they not only understand that there is a strategy that you have put in place and you'd like them to consider moving forward with, but also that they buy into whatever your strategy has been. So they have to be strategic, not just in the thought process, but also in the sense of continuing whatever you have created for them. The other thing about succession planning is the individual has to be given that role in the future based on their performance, based on merit. I put performance first because if you've done it properly, you would have created through a review process or through a feedback process or whatever it happens to be, which we've talked about in other leadership training videos. You'd have given them the steps to know how and where they need to get to the next level. You may even have said to them, one day, I see you as being someone who can take over this team, this department, this company. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you've got a few different people and you want to assess how they compare to each other. So it's got to be based on performance, which is based on what you have given them as the milestones to get to where you're considering them, which is of course wrapped up in merit. You consider them based on their competence and their skill set. You see, what we're doing here is we're taking away the affective, the emotional, the, oh, I like that person, therefore he or she should take on my role. No. Succession planning has absolutely nothing to do with that, and that is the most dangerous path to take anyway. because they will not have what is needed in terms of competency and skill set. If they have it, then that's great. But it's not about whether you like them or don't like them, it's about their ability to perform well within that structure. Based on this as well, you have to look at someone who, and this may be in the earlier stages of your leadership career and process, that you would have trained and developed them. Because equally, when you think about them succeeding you in the future, have they been adequately trained? Have they been developed? Have you chaperoned them? Have you mentored them? Have you coached them? Have you given them the tools that they need within the department, the team, the organization to be able to succeed beyond the strategic piece, but for them to be able to perform at the levels that you would be expecting? So if that's not the case, there needs to be a training program to put in place which will help them develop and grow. And then of course, I put this at the bottom, but I could also flip it the other way and say you need to make sure that that individual has the leadership qualities and abilities and capabilities that you want. So as through these leadership training videos, it's all about you as the leader, whatever role you have, you want to succeed in making sure that whoever takes over from you is based on these qualities, these skills. There are many more. So okay, I like to make these videos short so you can just get the sound bites and the key thoughts and ideas that at least I have and those which have helped me. Because once you do that, you then can assess their leadership abilities, which you would have monitored anyway through your time in that team or that department. Because the worst thing that can happen is that you make a decision to promote somebody or get them to a position where when you leave, they are the ones who are taking over from you, but you have not prepared them adequately. And it's also important, perhaps, I know not all companies do this, but you share with them, maybe not one individual, but with a few who are your lieutenants or lieutenants, as it were, who you feel, male or female, they could take over from you. You want to share that insight with them so that they understand that at some stage you are going to leave, and at some stage that opportunity will be available. Now, there's a whole different conversation about those who fight to succeed once you've left. I've seen that. It's a terrible situation to be in. You manage it as best you can, but human beings are human beings. They're going to want to jostle for position to be the successor. But you have to have your template, your check boxes, which may be done with the HR department. It may be on your own, but at some stage, the HR department will get involved, or at least your boss, or if you're the CEO already, some other people you'd be working with. But succession planning is critically important and very often either forgotten or delayed because whoever has that position wants to hold on to it until the very end. And at the very end, it suddenly creates chaos because the identified successor has not been made known or has not been allowed to grow. So in closing, I would say just think about who you would like to have succeed you. It may be one person, it may be 2 or 3, but make it a short or small number. Identify who they are, define the criteria that you're looking for in them, help them to grow into that position, and if it's going to take time, then you've got to move just faster. But succession planning is critically important because many departments, teams, and companies often forget it on the basis that they think they're going to be there forever. So I hope this has helped or given you some thoughts and ideas anyway about approaching it differently. And if you feel this has resonated, feel free to like, share or comment and subscribe to the channel so you know when other videos are becoming available. So until the next time, thank you.